This video is going to cover the changes in entering training. So instead of getting emails from the training office every month, all the training has been converted into templates built into emergency reporting. So you won't have to copy and paste from the email into the training class anymore. You'll just be able to create it quickly from a template. To know what training to do each month, we've created JPRs for each month. So once you go to the training tab, and then JPRs underneath the training tab here, you'll see there's one for each month. And you can click on each one and see that every member of the department has been assigned to these JPRs. If you hover over the information tab, don't click on it, just hover over it. It'll show you training that's to be completed for that month. So as you can see, class templates that are assigned to the February JPR are general driver's training, hazmat ID and appropriate response, street testing, Friday aerial training, engine company evolutions, interior tax, officer initiated drill, and combined department initiated drill. So to enter training from here, if you're going to enter this month, we're going to do hazmat identification and appropriate response for my shift on platoon 2, because you can see it's one of the templates required for the February 2019 JPR. So what you do is you'll go back to the training and you'll add a class. This is just like you used to add a class with having to copy and paste. But now what you'll do is create a class from a template, and we are going to use the hazmat identification and appropriate response. It is very important that you get the appropriate template whenever you're adding training, because some of the templates get FAA credit, some templates get IDOL credit, so it's very important that you pick exactly the right one. So you'll pick your template, and if you're not pre-scheduling training, if you're just entering training in for the day you do it, once you pick your template, you can just put that you did it today and pick what time you did it. For our sake, we'll say we did it at 10 o'clock this morning. It's a single class, and you'll add the class. So you can see that most of the information that you used to have to search around for or copy and paste is already entered in. The class name, class category, class length. If your evaluation method is different than the one selected, be sure to change that. You will need to add your instructors in, and that will normally be your training officer for the month. So because Mike's our training officer for this month, we'll just pick him. Any notes, or if you want to put any other instructors, for instance, airport instructors, you can always add Chris Collins in as an instructor. Do make sure you add yourself in as another instructor so that you can find it. So you add your instructor in. Now on some training, it should already be selected if it applies, but if you're entering in your own training, we've added in the FAA 139-319 standard so that we can know what training meets that standard and what doesn't. It'll be easier to track. And that's just right here underneath the standards. So once you've completed this first page, your little info bar will turn green. Once you know you're done, you'll come over to your narrative. And just like before, a narrative is required for every training class. And just putting in that training was performed to meet requirements is not a sufficient narrative. You do need to enter in exactly what you guys did in order to meet those objectives. So this is where your narrative goes. From there, on the Files tab, moving across, this one doesn't have any, but there'll be task sheets applied to certain templates. Those will just be the documents that used to be attached to the emails, or if there's YouTube video links or anything else that's already associated with the training, it'll be attached under the files. If you want to add more, for example, if you are doing officer initiated drill and you want to add a YouTube video, you can click URL, add your YouTube video link in. You can upload files. And if you want to, you can look in here. And these are task sheets that are already applied to other training, but you can add task sheets in as well if you want to look through here. They are grouped by category, or you can search by name if you want to add a task sheet to it. Under people, whenever you enter your training in, you'll want to come in and add your agency personnel. And if you're doing it for your own shift, you'll come to here, select your shift, and then use the checkbox to select your entire shift. Whether they're there or not, you still select everyone. add all the people, and if someone's missing, let's say that Dan wasn't here today, you'll uncheck him from pass fail. So you do want to make sure that you mark them failed if they are not there for the training, if they didn't do it. And with the hours, it's a 4-hour class, so you can pre-fill in all your hours. But then again, if someone's not here, you need to zero their hours out. And you can't just zero it from the class hours. You have to zero their hours out on the training code itself. So we'll change that to a 0. So at that point, Dan has been marked as fail and with 0 hours. It's important that both of those get done if someone's not here. And that's all you have to do to enter training by creating a class with a template. The process has been streamlined quite a bit to avoid a lot of copying, pasting, and duplicate work. If you do have somebody missing, there will be a validation warning of mismatch between class hours and student hours claimed. That's because someone was missing, so it's going to say that. You'll enter your password in, and then you can put that Plum was on sick leave this day, and then you'll complete your class. So that class is done. So then if you come back to your JPR and find someone off my shift, let's go with, you can see that Dan was scheduled for a class, has my identification, but he failed it because he wasn't there. The class was completed, but you can see it's missing. So we'll have to add his hours back up, but I'll show you how to do that in another video. So someone else, say Braden, you can see that it passed and he was completed, and you can click on the class to come to it and get more information about it if you'd like, and all that can be obtained from the JPR. Nothing will show up in the JPR dropdown under individuals if they haven't been scheduled for a class yet. So the only thing that shows up under these are classes that have been scheduled. So until you schedule classes or just add classes as you go, there'll be nothing under the February training or any of the training. You'll see the classes that are assigned to that JPR by hovering over the information button. That's about it for doing training with JPRs and class templates.